Hey Spurs fans, Paul the Hotspur hippie here, the only psychedelic soccer show on the internet. I hope you're all well this afternoon. Now, I had a thought earlier today. What was it yesterday? I was doing a stream and one commenter mentioned that he thought there were signs that the players are downing tools on Ange. Now, I didn't get that feeling or vibe myself. I'm hoping this guy's wrong. But there's a danger of it happening at Tottenham Hotspur. And I think this is possibly this could be one of, if push comes to shove, could be Ange's fatal mistake. I hope it doesn't come to this, but let me talk through this a bit. I've seen players down tools at Tottenham under managers like Martin Jol, Harry Redknapp, Pochettino, Nuno especially. That was huge. I mean, that was just beyond anything imaginable. I don't care what you think of Nuno. I think it's inexcusable for players to do that for any manager. And Jose and Conte. And one of the reasons I think that happened was because of this senior players group, and it had the likes of Skip, Dyer, Kane, Lloris, Højbjerg, Davis in it. And when you've got a group of a group of players like that, and they've been designated some sort of leadership or seniority, then it holds too much power, I think. So this is what I think Ange is possibly, if things don't work out, and I still think they will, but if I start seeing players doing this, then I think the problem is almost of Ange's own creation, because as apart from assigning Son Heung-min as captain, he created a leadership group. And I think that when I first heard that, I thought, I don't like that at all. I think it's in football, it works best if you've got the manager and then you've got one captain, and if he's not available, you sort it out, whatever. But one captain on behalf of the players, or a conduit. The captain is the manager on the pitch. The captain can voice concerns for the teams. There's a story Steve Perryman told me about. He's manager at the time in Japan, but the management at Shimizu said certain players or certain people will go business class and certain people will go economy class, and Steve said it's either all or nothing, and he said you didn't need a committee to sort that out. So I'm pretty sure Steve Perryman is against the whole committee thing, and I am too. I don't think it works well at all in football. Now, by Ange adding the likes of Maddison and Romero and now Vicario to this leadership group, he's growing. There's a player base growing, and that's when the rot starts with that group. I think you've done it, mate. I think you've done it. So what I would like to see Ange do when he comes back from the international break is dismantle this leadership group. I know it'll put noses out of joint, but let's have a look at how, we've got to be straight. Leadership is a problem at Spurs. I think Son shows flashes of it. We certainly noticed the lack of it when he wasn't playing. But if we start playing a half badly at Spurs, it continues until the end of that half, and then maybe at half time it's rectified, probably with what Ange says to the team. And what you want is leadership on the pitch that cuts that shit out immediately, or 5 or 10 minutes. And I'm not seeing that any moment. So I don't think Maddison or Romero are justified in being in the leadership group. Vicario is a goalkeeper. I think it's totally it's not required. Football by democracy does not work. It's a meritocracy. In a dressing room, players know who's senior and who's not. You get the vibe. You don't have to be anointed as a leadership person. Romero, his leadership was disappointing. When we were playing Brighton, we went down, and his head went down, and I saw that, and I thought, no man, you're supposed to be the guy that picks the guys up. Maddison has not shown leadership, so why is there a leadership containing these two? It's like having a leadership group with Eric Dyer in it. It's just going back to those mistakes of the past, I think. And I think if you've just got a captain, and maybe that's Sonny, I think Sonny's doing all right at the moment, and just him alone, maybe he can flourish more in that role. Well, like Ange said, leadership either emerges or you buy it in. So there is an option there to do some work in the transfer market to buy a leader in. I'd prefer that doesn't happen. I'd like to see that emerge somewhere on the pitch. The leadership in the last game I saw came from Bentancur and Solanke. None of the others. Well, Maddison wasn't even on the pitch because he's been not playing very well. He's been dropped. Hopefully he'll work his way back. Competition makes for good football. It's just a mistake. I know it sounds all nice and airy-fairy, groupthink or, consensus, the players' committee, they'll probably have a treasurer and a publicity advisor and something like that. Sod all that, throw it all out the window. One captain, that's the governor. Then there's no discussion on who sets the tone. While you've got a leadership group, everyone has a bit of a say. Now, a good captain will always listen to people, but at the end of the day, the captain calls the shots. And I'm lucky enough in my time at Spurs to see 3 great captains. I missed one out the other day. Steve Perryman, and then for 1 year and 1 year only, Richard Gough, but he was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And then after that, until I left England to come to Australia, it was Gary Mabbott, another great leader. So that's all you need. So I think Ange, I can be critical of at this one point. People think I don't criticise Ange at all. This is one I think he's got a mistake on. And maybe this is an approach that has worked at other clubs. Maybe this is something that worked at Celtic or Yokohama or Brisbane, but it won't work at Tottenham Hotspur, because when we've done it at Tottenham Hotspur in the past, results have been flagging. Leadership groups get in the ear of Daniel Levy, complain about this, moan about that, and then the next thing, the manager's gone. And I really don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I want to see us stick with Ange, and I hope Levy's got the balls to stick with him. Now, you may have seen a stream I did earlier this morning. Won't go into too many details. I'll tell you one of the reasons I did this. Because all I'm seeing on social media, the news, TalkSport, is how all Spurs want Ange out. And when I look and I see Spurs fans' comments, I see them regurgitating Ange out platitudes and tripe that I see coming from 2 main sources. And so what I'm doing is I'm pushing a bit back. I'm pushing not as hard as they've pushed on the likes of me, but pushed a bit back to get a little bit of the narrative out there that, okay, there are some shouty fans that want Ange out, but there are some shouty fans that want him in. Maybe there's less shouty ones. Maybe we don't go on our keyboards as much. But I just want there to be something out on the internet there to just rebuke and change the tone and discussion. Even if it's, look, compared to these channels, I'm small fry, but I felt compelled to put an opinion out there in a very strong way, and have a go at one of the people that's spreading that stuff. And I think that's fair enough. I see what they are doing as an attack on my football club, and when people attack my football club, I'll defend it, whether it's from without or within, and that's what I've done. And you could think, oh, I went too far or not. Don't think I did, because I see how far this lot go, and the comments I get in my videos. I mean, the thing is though, I don't care. The thing is, they do care when they're criticised. They get very shitty and very thin-skinned about it. I don't. I think it's all fair. When you're doing this game, there's videos out there about me slagging me off, something chronic. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. People can say whatever they want. It doesn't bother me at all. If you're going to play this game, you've got to have a bit of thick skin and a big pair of balls. And seeing as I've jumped out of a plane a few times, I think I've got bigger balls than them. So, if you can't put it about, don't dish it out. There's the message in that. But as always, Ange in, Ange we trust. Peace and love, man, and come on you Spurs.